And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Stratomatic 1978 replay. And we're going to have ourselves a little doubleheader action. This is going to be a test of a bit, testing if I can go through this or not. I've been sick for the last few days again, and I need to see if I'm ready for work for tomorrow. So this is going to tell me my health, and hopefully I can announce a couple of these games without gagging too much or coughing too much. So I do apologize if that does come out. Today's game, home opener for the New York Yankees, as they will bring up the 1977 World Series flag and they'll raise it. As it'll be Ron Guidry on the mound taking on Wilbur Wood, and then we'll switch to Anaheim, the home of the California Angels, as Nolan Ryan's on the mound to take on the Minnesota Twins. It's Paul Thermosgard, it's Nolan Ryan. So a fantastic doubleheader for you. It's Ron Guidry in the Yankees and Nolan Ryan in the Angels. Let's get this started. We know we have RJL coming up in about 40 minutes or so in his closing day, as he's be playing a fantastic 1983 replay. That's always on the schedule here on YouTube about 5:30. So we'll try to get through this. So he'll have his audience to himself, of course. So congrats to RJL for another season replay coming to an end. So here we go. Let's play some baseball here. So for the Yankees defensively, it's Piniella, Rivers, Jackson. Then it's Nettles, Dent, Randolph, and it's Nettles, Dent, Randolph, Chambliss, the normal infield. Munson and on the mound is Guidry. No record. He had no decision against Texas in his opener. Went 8 innings, gave up 6 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts, and has an ERA of 3.38. The White Sox lineup will be Moore, Orta, Bonds, Johnson, Lemon, Soderholm, Norhagen, Nahada, Rodney, and Kessinger. I'll go ahead and play both teams, even though I usually play as a home team as the Yankees always, just because I want to make sure that Mr. Howell doesn't make any stupid decisions. Let's do this. Let's play baseball from New York. Home opener for the New York Yankees for 1978. Before we get started, the Chicago White Sox come in a record of 1-4, while the Yankees are 3-2. Guidry on the mound, first pitch of the ball game. That's a line drive to third, but Nettles with the catch. Orta with the play. Orta so far 18 at bats, hitting .333. Lefty to lefty matchup. Guidry to Orta. And that will be a walk to Orta. So Orta's on. -5 to steal. So Orta's probably not going anywhere. And he gets picked off a bit. So he'll hold. And now here is the former Yankee, Bobby Bonds, still struggling here in Chicago. Guidry from the left side pitches to Bonds. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. They go to second. That's all they get. So Bonds will get on at first with the fielder's choice. Let's see if Bonds can run a bit. He's always been known to have a good running speed. He is auto-starred, so he automatically gets the lead if I give him the chance, but he's only a 50% chance to get the steal, so he'll hold. So here's Lamar Johnson hitting .348, one of the hotter hitting White Sox. Guidry from the stretch and a pitch to Johnson, and that's a strikeout for Ron Guidry. Of course, the White Sox wearing their famous softball-type uniforms today. White Sox nothing, Yankees nothing. For the Yankees, Rivers, Randolph, Munson, Jackson, Piniella, Chambliss, White, Nettles, Dent. Wood on the mound, 0-1, 7.88 ERA, 10 hits over 8 innings. John Wood with the pitch to Randolph, who's hitting .476 and 21 at-bats. The pitch to him, and that's going to be a ground ball back to Wood. He's a 2-0. Should make the play, barely does. Gets the ball out of the glove, makes the catch. Here's Rivers hitting .217. No home runs, 4 RBIs. Wood with the windup, lefty-lefty matchup. And that's going to be a ground ball to line drive. Second for Orta for 2 outs. Here's Munson hitting .238, no home runs and an RBI. Wood with the windup. Here's the pitch to Munson. And for Munson, a fly ball left field. Norhagen there makes the catch, and we're 1 inning in here in New York. Opening day, no score. Here's Chet Lemon. Here at New York, singles are only a 1, so that's very hard to get any type of ballpark singles. Left-handed power, of course, you got the short porch. It's a 1-15. Death Valley to right-handed hitters is a 1-8. So Lemon to bat against Guidry. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a lot deep drive left field. That's trouble. Back goes Piniella. No, it went to left center. Piniella with the catch. Room to go. Hit it right in the Death Valley, and it brought it back. So one away. Here's Eric Soderholm hitting 263. Home run, 2 RBIs. Guidry with the windup. Here's the pitch to Soderholm. And that's going to be a line drive caught. Again, ballpark single. You don't need that for the year Guidry had. That just gives him more ammunition, more outs. 2 outs in the second for Wayne Nordhagen, hitting 364. No home runs, no RBIs. Guidry with the windup to Nordhagen. And again, that's a line drive caught. Again, ballpark single. Does you no good. We played an inning and a half. Chicago, nothing. New York, nothing. Here's Reginald Martinez Jackson. Home run in real life in this game. And that what brought out the Reggie bars. And that totally stopped play for a while. That's probably not one of the smarter things the Yankees did for a promo. So here's Wood on the mound, lefty matchup to Jackson. Jackson has a home run and 4 ribbies. The pitch to Reggie, and he almost did walk to Jackson. So he's on, and now with the possibility of a +1 runner for Jackson, he's probably got some speed. Gets picked off a bit. So let's see. Oh, he gets a chance. He runs and he makes it. So Jackson steals second. So Reggie steals second with nobody out. Here's Piniella. No bat so far. Oh, first 5. Wood from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Piniella, and that's gonna be a base hit for Piniella. Jackson scores. Yankees lead 1-0. So big RBI base hit for Piniella, his first base hit of the season, and the Yanks jump on top 1-0. Here's Chambliss hitting 364. No home runs, 2 RBIs. Wood from the stretch. The pitch to the lefty Chambliss, and that's a pop up to short. Kessinger makes the catch, and there's one away. Here's Roy White. Wood from the stretch to the switch hitting Roy White, who's having an absolutely fantastic season. Hitting 643, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs through 14 at bats. Lefty pitcher to White and the pitch. And that's a ground ball to short. That's 2. Goes to second. Back to first. Turns the double play. We play 2. 1-0 Yankees going to the top of the 3rd inning. And we go to the top of the 3rd. Here's Bill Nahana Rodney. He'll bat against Guidry. Guidry with the windup and the pitch to Bill. And that's a pop up to third. Nettles with the catch, and there's one away. Here's Don Kessinger. Kessinger hitting 267, no homers, 2 RBIs. Guidry with the windup and the pitch. That's a walk, so Guidry has a base runner. Here is Junior Moore. Moore lined out his first time up. Guidry from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Moore. And that's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Gets the double play. 1-6-3. We go to the bottom of 3rd inning. New York 1, Chicago 0. Nettles, Dent, and Randolph for the Yanks. Again, on deck is the doubleheader matchup. It is the Twins and Angels. Nolan Ryan on the mound for the Halos. Wood looks in. Nettles hitting 400. 1 home run, 4 RBIs. The pitch to Nettles. And Nettles, a line drive in the gap. That's a base hit cut off by Bonds. Nettles on a first. Nobody out for Bucky Dent. Corners are in. Yankees are going to look for the bunt. So Billy Martin puts the bunt sign for Dent. Does it. Nettles goes to second. So Billy Martin playing small ball. Runner on second. 1 out for Randolph. 0 for 1. 22 at bats. Hitting 455 with 3 ribbies. Wood from the stretch, pitch to Randolph, and that's a single to center field. Nettles a 1-13 will hold with 1 out. First and third, 1 out for Mickey Rivers. Here's Rivers. Wood, lefty matchup with 1 out and the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive to right field. It's trouble. Back, and it is gone. Mickey Rivers, a 3-run blast. And the Yankees jump on top 4-0. So the big blow in this game goes to Rivers. A 3-run jack in the 3rd. Yankees lead 4-0, and off we go. Munson the bat against Wood. Wood with the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. Lemon makes the catch. And now here's Jackson. Wood with the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a walk to Jackson. So Wood's struggling now. And we know this White Sox bullpen is a lot to be desired. Wood from the stretch. Pitch to Piniella. That's a pop up to short. That'll do it. But the Yankees get 3 on a 3-run jack job by Mickey Rivers. 4-0 Yanks. We go to the 4th inning. So now Orta the bat against Guidry. Guidry with the windup to Orta, and that's back to the pitcher. Let's see if he makes the play. He does, throws them out one away. One away here in the fourth for Bobby Bonds. Guidry with the windup and the pitch. And it's a line drive to Dent, 2 outs. Here's Johnson. Guidry with the windup and the pitch. And ground ball to short. Guidry has not get up a hit through the fourth inning. It's still 4-0 Yanks. Hell no. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Chambliss to bat. Chambliss, White, and Nettles. Wood with the windup and the pitch. And that's a base hit for Chambliss. So he gets a big hit there. Here's White. Yankees with their 5th hit of the ball game. Wood from the stretch and the pitch. Ground ball to third. That's 2. Soderholm to second. Back to first. Double play. Here's Nettles. 1-for-1, a single, and scored. Scored on the Rivers home run. Wood for the windup. Here's the pitch to Nettles, and that's a line drive to second. That ends it. We go to the 5th, 4-0 Yanks. So Yankees into the 5th inning, and it looks good for Ron Guidry here in the 5th inning. So here is Lemon, followed by Soderholm and Nordhagen. Guidry with the windup and the pitch, and that's a strikeout for Ron Guidry. So Louisiana Lightning with another strikeout. Guidry with the windup. Here's the pitch to Soderholm. And that's a base hit. First base hit of the ball game is Eric Soderholm. So now here is Wayne Nordhagen. Guidry from the stretch and the pitch. And that's a line drive caught by Nettles, 2 outs. And here's Bill Nahana Rodney. Guidry from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Missed all his good stuff. Throws to second. Retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees 4, White Sox nothing. So Wood still on the mound here in the 5th inning. Again, try to stay out of that bullpen. Wood with the windup. Here's the pitch to Dent. Sacrifices first time. I've had a base hit for Dent. So for those who sacrifice, he gets a big base hit. Good job there. So now batting will be Willie Randolph. Randolph 1-for-2 for single. Wood from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit to center field again. Randolph is on. Dent will hold at second. First and second, nobody out. Again for Mickey Rivers. 3-run homer back in the 3rd. Wood from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a pop up the 3rd. Soderholm with the catch, and there's one away. Here's Munson. He's 0-for-2. 2 flyouts. Wood from the stretch and the pitch. And that'll be a strikeout for Munson. The knuckleball over. There's 2 outs. Here's Jackson. Walked twice. Let's see if he can avoid him this time. Remember, he hit a home run in real life. That generated all those Reggie bars. Wood from the stretch and the pitch. And that is a line drive in the gap for Jackson. Dent scores. Randolph has to hold. RBI base hit for Mr. October. It's 5-0 Yankees. Big RBI for Jackson there. Here's Pinello with 2 outs. Wood from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that will be a fly ball to left field. Nordhagen there makes the catch. Yankees strand 2, but at through 5, they lead 5-0. After this, Twins Angels, our second half of our doubleheader. This will be Kessinger, followed by Moore and Orta. Guidry with the windup. Here's the pitch to Kessinger. And that's a line drive. The left center field in trouble. Let's go to the wall. Don Kessinger doubles the lead off the 6th. Second base hit for the White Sox. Here's Junior Moore. Guidry from the stretch. And that's a line drive, the first, one away. And now here's Orta. And Guidry from the stretch and the pitch to Orta. And that's a strikeout for Orta, 2 outs. And here's Bonds. Guidry from the stretch. 2 outs, runner on second. Guidry trying to avoid Melward Mess. He does. Nettles throws them out. And the White Sox through 6. It's 5-0 Yanks. Opening day for the New York Yankees, 1978 season. We'll then go to the Twins Angels for Nolan Ryan's start against Paul Thermosgard to finish off this Thursday in 1978 history. Bottom of 6, 5-0 Yanks. Wood against Chambliss and the pitch. That will be a line drive base hit for Chambliss. He's on. And the Yankees with their 9th base hit of the ball game. Here's White. He's 0-for-2, 2 double plays. Wood from the stretch to pitch to White. And that's a ground ball double play for the 3rd time. Soderholm the 2nd over the 1st. 3 double plays for Roy White. Wood with the windup. Here's the pitch to Nettles. And Nettles with a line drive, deep right field. Bonds back, makes the fantastic catch. What a play there. Holy cow. Home run won the 15, got the 16. So Bonds pulls it back. Yankees lead 5-0. We head to the top of the seventh inning. Johnson, Lemon, and Soderholm. So far, Ron Guidry only giving up 2 hits in this ball game. Guidry with the windup. Here's the pitch to Lamar Johnson. Struck him out, one away. Here's Chet Lemon, who's 0 for 2. Guidry with the windup. Pitch to Lemon. And that is going to be a line drive deep left field over Pinella's head. That's a double for Lemon. He'll stay right there. Third hit for the White Sox. And now here's Soderholm. Guidry from the stretch. Runner on second. 1 out. Pitch to Soderholm. And it's in it. It's a wild pitch. Gets past Munson. Lemon the third. The slider went too far. Runner on third. 1 out now. Yankees playing the infield back. They're willing to give up the shutout here. Guidry from the stretch. Pitch to Soderholm. And doesn't matter. That's a line drive to shortstop, 2 outs. And now it brings up Wayne Nordhagen with 2 outs. Guidry from the stretch. Runner on third, 2 out the pitch. And it's going to be a line drive. The Randolph retires the side. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Ron Guidry, 3 hits through 7. Yankees lead it 5-0. Captain Carl, how you doing? It does. I like it doing that way. Again, I've been sick, and I started doing it when I was getting sick just because I just don't have the power right now to run things through, and I can get 2 games at once, so it kind of speeds things up. If I see the A's, Mariners on the schedule, kind of been blowing them by 2, but playing. Well, we saw the other good games. We saw the other good teams too. That's been a kind of a big thing. Again, it's Twins and Angels will follow as we'll get this going here. By the 7th, Yankees 5-9-0, Chicago 0-3-0. Dent, Randolph, and Rivers. Wood with the windup. He'll stay out there. Might as well give him the innings because it doesn't. I don't want to throw in that bullpen right now. If he gets tired through the game, I'll probably get him out. Here's a pitch from Wood to Dent. And that's a fly ball center field. Lemon is there, makes the catch, 1 away. Here's Randolph, 2 for 3 at the run scored. Randolph 12 of 24, double, triple, 3 RBIs. Wood with the windup, pitch to Randolph. And that's a base hit for Randolph. He's 3 for 4. Here's Mickey Rivers, big hit of the ball game, 3-run homer back in the 3rd. Wood from the stretch, pitch to Rivers. Ground ball the 2nd. Orta's a 4. That could be, gets the fielder's choice. Orta with a nice feed. The Kessinger couldn't get out of his glove. Rivers will beat it. 2 outs. Let's see if the Yankees want to maybe Porter with a stolen base. Billy Martin says, hold up. Wood from the stretch. Here's Munson, 0 for 3 in the ball game. And that's a base hit for Munson. Rivers will go to 3rd. First hit for Munson. That is base hit number 11 for the Yanks. 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. Here's Jackson. 1 for 1, single and an RBI, 2 walks. Remember, this is the game where they threw the Reggie bars at him and hit the big home run. Is this the at-bat he does it? Wood from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Jackson. And that's going to be a base hit for Jackson in 2nd hit of the ball game. Wood is now tired. Rivers scores. Munson the 3rd. Yankees lead 6-0. Let's check out the White Sox bullpen and see what's left of it. Again, they have not used Rich Hinton at all this year. Yeah, he pitched a little tiny bit, 3 innings. Let's see, Larry McGraw, Ron Shaw. We could with the Yankee lineup. What it is, we can go to Jim Willoughby, probably the smart choice. So Willoughby will come out and pitch for the White Sox. That's it for Wood. Yankees lead 6-0. Pitching change in the Bronx. On the mound, Jim Willoughby. 1 inning, 4 hits, 1 home run, 13.5 ERA. So that'll take a while to get back down as a reliever. Righty Willoughby to Piniella. And that's going to be a foul out behind the plate. So Willoughby gets the last out at 6-0 Yanks. We go to the top of the 8th. So now Nod, Rodney, Kessinger, and more. Guidry the windup to Nod Rodney. And that's going to be a base hit for Bill Nod Rodney. Hits lefties well. That's the 4th hit for the White Sox. And here's Don Kessinger. Walk and a double. Guidry from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Kessinger. Kessinger, ground ball back to the mound. Throws a short. Good slide as Kessinger will beat the relay. 1 away. Here's Junior Moore, 0 for 3. Guidry from the stretch. Pitch to Moore. And now we have base hit for Junior Moore. That is the 5th base hit. 1st and 2nd, 1 out for George Orta. Yankees looking at their bullpen. It's stirring. Sparky Lyles up in the Yanks bullpen. Don't need Gossage with a 6-run lead. Guidry from the stretch, first and second one out, pitch to Orta. That's a strikeout, 2 out. Get that on the inside corner. Do the White Sox have anybody in their on their bench who can maybe smash a lefty? Nope, everyone can smash righties. So Greg Pryor's a 1L would be the option. 2 outs for Bobby Bonds. 0 for 3. This is a big spot for Bobby. Guidry from the stretch, pitch to Bonds, and he does deep drive left center field. That's going way back, and gone. And Guidry now becomes tired. It's now a 6-3 ball game, and all of a sudden, Rich Gossage is up in the Yankee bullpen. So here's Lamar Johnson. Martin wants Guidry to at least get out of this one. Here's a pitch to Johnson. And that's a walk. And now the tying runner is on the on-deck circle. And here comes Billy. He'll have to go to Gossage already. Gossage barely got up. And this will be one of his rare appearances. He's 1-0, 1 save, giving up. Well, actually, he's been in 4 innings. He struck out 4 with a save. So he's been all right. Gossage from the stretch. Gossage to Lemon. Here's the pitch. Righty matchup. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Goes the second for the fielder's choice. White Sox back in it. 6-3 Yankees going to the bottom of the 8th. Chambliss, White, and Nettles. At least White can't head into another double play. Oh, actually could if Chambliss gets on. Wilby with the windup to Chambliss. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. Good play by Soderholm and Roy White, who has hit into 3 double plays. That has to be some kind of major league record. Wilby with the windup. Here's the pitch. And that is finally going to be a base hit for Roy White, who he's been on fire. So run first, 1 out for Nettles, 1 for 3 runs scored. Wilby from the stretch. Double play ball. Johnson the catcher back to first. And we go to the last licks for Chicago. Yankees 6, White Sox 3. 6-13-0 for New York. 3-6-0 for the White Sox. So Gossage will now pitch to Soderholm, Nordhagen, and probably a pinch hitter for Bill Rodney. So actually, with him on there right now, let's see. Who is your third baseman? Oh, they got guys who I like to swing in this situation. But who do you play at third? Probably Greg Pryor will come in. So he'll go in. So bring in Ronnie Bloomberg. You're down 3. I don't want to bring in Bloomberg. Let's see. Who do you bring in? We'll bring in Hector Cruz. So Hector Cruz will swing. And looks to be a good hitter against righties at least. Gossage with the windup and the pitch. And that's a walk, and he's on. So Gossage in his typical 1978 10-11, 2.01 ERA, where he seemed to get in a lot of messes, is going to start one here. Here's Nordhagen. He was even, and he is the starting left fielder. That probably will be Mr. Ralph Garr. So Garr will probably swing in. 317, 329 to 80. And play Garr would be a best bet here for Mr. Nordhagen. So here comes Garr. Garr on the year hitting 200, no home runs, no RBIs, left-handed hitter. Gossage from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit for Garr. It's first and third. White Sox bring the tying runner to the plate, top of the 9th, no outs. Bill Nahataradi will be pulled back again. Again, they got hitters who hit lefties. Now you bring the tie game moment into this game, and it's going to be Ron Bloomberg. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, lighting it up and hitting 389 so far. Gossage from the stretch. 6-3 ball game, pitch to Bloomberg. And that's a ground ball to Chambliss. He's a 3-4. He does not make the play. That's going to go through. That's going to be, yes, it is. It's a whole runner sting. That's a base hit. Jackson picks it up. White Sox score a run. It's 6-4. Oh, my goodness. How many times did Gossage blow him in 78? He blew it on opening day where the Yankees actually did win. Watch they blow it here on opening day at the stadium. 6-4 Yankees in the 9th. And here is Kessinger. Again, a guy who smashes around lefties. Let's see if they got somebody else. They're not going to pull Gossage out of this one. Plenty of guys who want to see him, but the question is, is what do you do? So Greg Pryor probably has to come in the game. Now, if they tie it, the problem is you're going to have somebody playing out of position. Kessinger will probably bat here with no outs, as long as you don't hit into a double play. Yankees will play the infield back, playing for two. They'll give up that fifth run. Gossage from the stretch needs to gear back and get a strikeout here. And it's going to be a ground ball to shortstop Dent. He can't make the play. That's a base hit. Gets past him. Gar scores. It's 6-5 Yankees. First and second, nobody out for Junior Moore, who wants to hit righties. He'll stay in this game. It's going to be Orta on deck, followed by Bonds. First and second, 6-5 Yankees. Gossage from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Junior Moore. And that's going to be a line drive. Thankfully, Strat does not screw me. Nettles with the catch, and there's one away. And now here's Orta. 0 for 3 with a walk. God, this is where Gossage probably stays in this. Almost rather have Lyle here, but Gossage will stay in. First and second, one out, 6-5 ball game. Then you have Bonds, Johnson, guys he doesn't prefer lefties. So you know what? They're going to take the ball from Gossage. He is mad as hell, but they're going to give it to Sparky Lyle here. It's going to be Lyle or nothing. Better matchup versus the lefty. White Sox really don't have anybody to swing against a lefty anyway. This is it. So Orta will swing. Lyle will try to get the save. First and second, one out, 6-5 ball game. And here's the pitch. He flies the center. Rivers is there, makes the catch. That might have been a hit versus a righty. First and second, 2 out for Bonds. Boy, hit a big 3-run homer back in the eighth. Gets another chance in the ninth to hit one. Solid power, has home run ballpark power. That can get denied here, though. Lyle from the stretch. First and second, 2 out, 6-5 Yankees. Can this be the chance? Lyle gets a huge save. Lyle from the stretch. Pitch is going to be a base hit center field. Will they? Yes, they will score. +1 the Rivers. Gets to +2 with 2 outs. 1-17. Here he comes. They're going to throw for the runner. They're going to hold the trailing runner. He's saved. He just gets his legs in at 6-6. So an RBI base hit for Bonds ties this game. First and second, 2 outs. Here's Lamar Johnson 0 for 3 with a walk. Lyle from the stretch. Pitch to Johnson. And that's back to the pitcher. Yankees will get a chance to walk this off. So let's see. It's 6-6. We head to the ninth inning. So that will mean Greg Pryor somewhere. And boy, who came in where was the question. So let's see. Second, third. So third baseman probably was going to be Pryor for Cruz. So Pryor comes in and plays third base. Gar will be the new left fielder. So first, second, short, third, catcher, left, center, right, catcher. So the new oh, goodness gracious. Who is the new catcher? Oh, no, he's not the catcher. Oh, took out my other catcher, didn't I? Oh, when I took out Norhagen, probably was my backup catcher. Oh, I don't have a catcher. Oh, my goodness. Hang on. I don't have a catcher. Hang on. No catcher. Oh, my gosh. No catcher. All right. Well, this could be a problem. I made a huge mistake. Probably should never pinch hit for him. So this guy named Eden will come in and catch. He has to be an emergency catcher, unfortunately. Holy crap. So he'll be a 5E +5. So I'll try not to steal any bases. I should never have done that. And that's a big, huge mistake. So 5E16 +5 for Eden. He's the emergency catcher. Dent, Randolph, Rivers against Wilby. Stays in the game, a 6-6 tie. Wilby with the windup. And that's a fly ball to center field. Lemon is there, makes the catch. And here's Randolph. He's 3 for 4. Wilby with the windup and the pitch. And he gets a liner right at Kessinger for the ballpark. Single on a 1. Here's Mickey, 1 for 4, 3-run homer in the third. Do we have free baseball? Wilby with the windup, pitch to Rivers, and he does. Ground ball to first, jumps in, and we have free baseball. So now Sparky Lyle will stay out there, but he's about to go tired. He'll pitch to Lemon, Pryor, and Gar. Lyle with the windup. Here's the pitch. And that's a strikeout again. So here's Greg Pryor for the first time. Lyle with the windup, pitch to Pryor. And that's a ground ball back to Lyle. 2 outs. And here's Gar, 2 outs. Lyle with the windup, pitch to Gar. And a walk. And that tires Lyle out. So we go to the 10th. Here is Eden, the emergency catcher. So he'll swing right-handed here. Lyle from the stretch and the pitch. And can you believe this? To the wall, it's trouble. It's a triple for Eden, the backup emergency catcher, and the White Sox lead it 7-6. He hit it over Rivers' head. That is Strat in a nutshell. Here's Don Kessinger, 2 for 3 of a double. Lyle from the stretch. And that's a strike. Oh, he's tired. So that's a base hit for Kessinger. It's 8-6 Chicago. Here's Junior Moore. Lyle from the stretch. Fly ball to center. Rivers there makes the catch. It's 8-6 White Sox going to the bottom of the 9th inning. So now let's see with righty, lefty, righty, lefty. We'll mix. We'll see Wilby can finish this. He's looked good. Wilby with the windup, pitch to Munson. Now the Yankees on last flicks, line drive right at Kessinger, 1 away. Here's Jackson, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs. Wilby with the windup, pitch to Jackson, and that's a ground ball to second. Order with the play, 2 outs, and the Yankee Stadium collapse of 1978 is about to happen. Wilby with the windup, pitch to Piniella, and he walks. He puts the tying run on for Chambliss. And Wilby's better against lefties. He stays out there from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Chambliss. And that's going to be ground ball to second. Hit at Orta. Does he make the play? No, he fumbled the ball. And the Yankees will put 2 on for Mr. Roy Babe Ruth White. Hitting .556, 18 RBIs, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. And he has a chance to again be the hero. Does he do it? Bats lefty. Wilby looks on. First and second, 2 out, and the pitch. Ground ball to short. Goes the second, and the Yankee collapse of 1978 opening day will be remembered. The Yankees came in the 9th inning, leading 6-1, and not needing Gossage. All of a sudden, the White Sox score 3 in the 8th. They get a runner on. Gossage comes on. They tie it in the 9th with a 3 spot, and then win it on a RBI triple by the emergency catcher, Mike Eden, I believe his name is. White Sox 8-12-1. The Yankees 6-13-0. Wilby takes the win, going 3 1/3. That is huge. Gossage takes the hold. We shouldn't even get the hold. Lyle took the loss and the blown save. Inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. And that's going to infuriate Billy Martin. Home runs by Bonds and Rivers. Let's go to the next game. It's the Twins and Angels here on the Sports Time Machine. Let's go ahead and get our engines roaming as it's Paul Thermosgard. It's a day game from Anaheim. Let's go ahead and jump right to it. We'll take a look at our chat in a second, as that collapse definitely will be felt. So Twins and Angels, second game of our doubleheader. Nolan Ryan on the mound. He's 0-1, 2.70 ERA, 4 hits over 7 innings, 7 walks, 10 strikeouts. So let's take a look what's going on. All right. Thank you, folks, for still being here. That only took 34 minutes of horrifying fun. So let's go ahead and get game 2 here. For the Twins, it's Cubbage, Smalley, Carew, Adams, Wagner, Ford, Powell, Nordhagen, and Randall. For the Angels defensively, Rudy, Bostock, and Miller, Chalk, Molnix, Grich, and Fairley, and that's Humphrey and Ryan. So here's Cubbage hitting .611, one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He had such a great series against the Mariners, 18 at-bats, 2 home runs, and 5 RBIs. Ryan on the mound and the first pitch. Base hit. So there's the first base hit of the ball game. So in this game coming in, just by the way, the Twins come in at 4-4, while the Angels are 3-3. Ballpark effects, 1-12 singles, 4 lefties, righties. Home runs are 1-9. So pretty good ballpark. Actually, yeah, 1-9 lefty righty. Here's Smalley hitting 303, home run 6 RBI. Remember, the Twins had that 5-game series versus the Mariners. Still have more bats than most. Ryan from the stretch pitched to Smalley, and that's a strikeout for Smalley. Here's Carew. 351 for Carew, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Ryan from the stretch and the pitch. Ground ball to second, double play. Grits to short, back to first. Twins nothing. Here come the Halos. Here is Miller, Grits, Bostock. 25 at bats, home run, 2 ribbies. Lefty hitter against Thermosgard. 0-1, no record. Pitched 8 innings, 6 hits, and lost the game. Tough loss for Thermosgard in his debut. Thermosgard to Miller, and that's a strikeout, one away. Here's Bobby Grits, starting to bring the average a little bit up after his last game, hitting 238. Nothing to show for on the scoreboard. Thermosgard with the windup and the pitch. And for Thermosgard, it's going to be a base hit for Grits, so ballpark single. So Grits continues to get his average up, and here's Bostock hitting only 182. Thermosgard with the stretch to Bostock. And that's going to be a ground ball. The second hit at Randall goes and gets the double play. No score. We go to the second. So now here is Adams. Ryan for the windup pitch to Adams. And that'll be a walk. So Adams is on. Here is Butch Waniger hitting 185. Ryan from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. Hit at chalk. That should be 2. It is an easy double play. 5-4-3. 2 outs in the second for Dan Ford. Ryan with the windup. Here's the pitch to Ford. And Ryan hit the line drive left field. Back goes Rudy. Makes the nice running catch to the sides. Retired. Bottom 2, no score. Rudy followed by Baylor and Fairley. Rudy hitting 360, home run and 5 RBIs. Thermosgard with the windup pitch to Rudy. And that's a double for Rudy down the line. So Rudy has a stand-up double to lead off the second. Here's Baylor hitting 429, 6 ribbies. Thermosgard from the stretch, pitch to Baylor, and Baylor hits a line drive. Caught this time, the ballpark single bites him as Smalley makes a great catch. Here's Ron Fairley hitting 182, home run and 3 rivers. Thermosgard from the stretch, pitch to Fairley, and that's a base hit. Rudy scores. It's 1-0 Angels. So RBI for Ron Fairley. Here's Dave Chalk. Thermosgard from the stretch and the pitch. That's a line drive double play. Ron Fairley's doubled off. We go to the third. 1-0 Halos. Powell followed by Norwood and Randall for the Twins. Ryan with the windup. Here's the pitch. That will be a ground ball to first. 1 away. Here's Willie Norwood. Sorry. Ryan with the windup. Here's the pitch to Willie. 5-8. Struck him out. Strikeout number 12 on the year for Ryan. Second of the day. Ryan with the windup to Bob Randall, and he gets a double to center field. That's through the gap. So Randall on at second with 2 outs. Here's Cubbage. Cubbage 1 for 1 with the single. Ryan from the stretch and the pitch. And that's all 6s. Struck him out. So strikeout for Ryan. Bottom third, 1-0 Angels. Mullenix, Humphrey, and Miller. Mullenix hitting 0-56, 18 at bats, 2 ribbies. Thermosgard with the windup and the pitch. That's a ground ball, 1 away. Thermosgard looks in, 1 out in the third. Humphrey the batter hitting 273 and the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive base hit, ballpark single for Terry Humphrey. And here's Rick Miller, who's 0 for 1. 26 at bats, home run, 2 RBIs. That's a slow start. As no longer a small sample size, Miller's going to have to start hitting. Thermosgard from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to ground ball to first. He hits it at Carew. He gets it, turns the double play. He turns it around, goes 3-6-3. We go to the top of the fourth here in California. Angels 1, Twins nothing. Top of the fourth from Hollywood, California. Yep, he probably was one of the best pitchers to never win a Cy Young. Had a couple really good years. Not sure where he fared in the list, but he probably is on the top there. Here's Smalley, followed by Carew and Adams. Ryan with the pitch to Smalley, and that's a fly ball left field. Rudy is there, but he doesn't. He drops the ball in his glove. Actually, that was Miller. Holy cow, Miller is a 1E5. You don't drop those a lot. So that's an E9, and Smalley heads the second. Wow, Miller normally doesn't drop those. So the Twins get a runner on second for Carew. That's how probably Ryan lost his last start. Here's a pitch from Ryan from the stretch to Carew. And that's going to be a line drive base hit for Carew. Gets the ballpark single again. First and third out. This is where the ballpark singles kill Carew. If Ryan was a Yankee and had ballpark singles at a 1, he might have been a much different pitcher. First and third no out. Then again, he'll get chances out of ballparks to pitch well. Adams, the bat for Minnesota, no record with a walk his first time up. First and third no out. Angels will play the infield in. That's fine. Trying to cut off that early run. Ryan from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Adams. And that's a ground ball. No, they don't get the double play. They take it to the bag himself. It's second and third, 1 out, and they'll continue playing the infield in for Butch Waniger. 179, home run and RBI. Switch hitting, batting for the left side. Ryan for the stretch. Pitch to him, and that's a pop up to short. Mullenix makes the catch. Now the Twins have a chance to not get anything. Here is Ford. 0 for 1 of the flyout. Ford having a good solid start. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Ryan from the stretch and the pitch. And that's a ground ball to second. Let's see if Gritch makes the play. He does. Good play by Bobby Gritch. And the side retired. The Twins get nothing. We go to the bottom of the fourth. California 1. Twins nothing. Gritch followed by Bostock and Rudy. So now Gritch all of a sudden, now 22 at-bats, has brought the average up to 273. Thermosgar with the windup, the pitch to Gritch. And that's going to be a bait. The line out, shortstop Smalley. Misread that. Smalley with a nice read on it, 1 away. Here's Bostock. No home runs, 2 RBIs. Thermosgar with the windup, pitch to Bostock. And that's going to fly ball center field. Ford with the catch and 2 outs. And now here is Joe Rudy. Thermosgar with the windup to Rudy. And that's a pop-up to third. Cubbage with the play. We head to the fifth. It is 1-0 Angels. Powell, Norwood, Randall. Ryan with the windup. Here's a pitch to him. And that's going to be a line drive deep to center field. Bostock can't get it. It's a double for Powell. So Twins runner on second with nobody out again. Here's Norwood. Ryan again up by 1. Ryan from the stretch. Pitch to Norwood. Ground ball to third. Picked up by Chalk. Can't get it. Goes through for a base hit. Powell get it. Chalk's a 2. So that was the only opportunity he gets giving up that base hit. So Ryan again hit by a bad luck. Bad luck. First and third no outs. Again, the Angels will play the infield in for Bob Randall. Doubled his last time up. Rudy from the stretch. Pitch to Randall. That's going to be ground ball double play. But again, they don't get it. They get the easy out at first. We've been here before. Second and third, 1 out for Cubbage. Single back in the first. Ryan from the stretch. Pitch to Cubbage. And that's going to be a line drive base hit for Cubbage. Again, he has a hit. Run will score. We're now tied at 1. Now here's Smalley, 0 for 2. Ryan from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's a strikeout. 2 outs for Carew. Ooh, tough man to pitch to here. Carew doesn't hit in the clutch. Just loses 1 hit on a 110. Ryan from the stretch wants to keep it on his card. And he does. It doesn't help. Goes all the way to the wall. Scores both. Carew will have a stand-up triple, and the Twins lead it 3-1. So a big 2-run, 2-out triple for Rod Carew. Here's Glenn Adams. Ryan from the stretch. And that's a strikeout for Ryan. He gave up a meaty pitch to Carew. It's 3-1 Twins. Bottom 5. So now here is Baylor, followed by Fairley and Chalk. Ryan now on the outset here with 3-1 game. Thermosgar pitch to Baylor. And that is going to be a line drive caught. Single 1-11. Delayed on the 20. 1 away. Here's Fairley. 1 for 1 with an RBI. Thermosgar with the windup and the pitch. 6-3. Fly ball left field. That's going to be trouble for Norwood. He's going to lose that one. It goes to the wall. Wow, goes to third. Fairley will go into third, and he's there with 1 out. So a single and a 2-base error on Willie Norwood. So he tried to get the shoestring catch, went underneath his glove, and Fairley, the old man, gets his way to third base with 1 out. Here's Dave Chalk. Thermosgar from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive. Base hit for Chalk. Gets the ballpark single. It's now 3-2 Twins. So Chalk with a base hit. Here's Mullenix. Thermosgar, a little bit of trouble from the stretch. Pitch to Mullenix. And that is a ground ball hit to short. Smalley makes the play. It turns a double play. What a job by Smalley. Goes to second, off the first, and we played 5. 3-2 Twins. Here's Waniger, Ford, Powell in the 6th. Ryan for the stretch. Pitch to Waniger. And that's going to be a line drive, fly right field. Miller with the catch. Home run only on a 1. Wow. An FU chance with no ballpark attached. That sucked. Ryan from the stretch. Pitch to Ford. Walked him. Surprisingly for Ryan today, it's only his second walk and 5 strikeouts. Ryan from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Powell. And that's a single to right field. That's not going to help. They'll hold Ford at second, though. First and second, 1 out for Willie Norwood. So Ryan needs to work his way out of this mess. From the stretch, pitch to Norwood. And that's a ground ball to short again. Mullinex can't make the play. Oh, and he makes a bad throw, too. Run will score. Norwood the second. The Twins now lead it 4-2. So the Angel defense coming apart here. They'll bring the infield in of a 4-2 ball game. Bob Randall, the batter. Ryan from the stretch. And that's a ground ball to third. Holds the runner. Throws to first and a second and third. 2 outs for Mike Cubbage. Ryan from the stretch. Second and third. 2 out. Pitch to Cubbage. And that's a line drive. Base hit for Cubbage. He's done it again. Third base hit of the ball game. Powell scores. Here comes Norwood. And it's 6-2 Twins. And out. Could be a tired for Nolan Ryan. Gave up the 6 runs over 2 innings. Who do they have that can eat up innings? Probably would be Dyer Miller. And he's up and ready. And Roy Smalley with the batter. Ryan from the stretch in the pitch. And that's a single for Smalley. Holds the runners at second. Twins with base at number 11. Here comes Carew. And boy, now they look at them now. They get Ryan now. Dyer Miller will come in. So Dyer Miller will be the new pitcher. Nolan Ryan, if you're here to see Nolan, he's out after 5 2/3. 6-2 Twins. So Carew, 2 for 3 of the triple and 2 ribbies. Miller from the stretch in the pitch. And that's a base hit for Carew. Hits keep on coming. 1 for 13. They're going to try to score Cubbage. They're going to throw for the run. They're going to hold the runner. He's safe. He gets in. Twins lead 7-2. Here's Glenn Adams, 0 for 2 and a walk. Miller from the stretch. And that's all. 6 has struck him out, and the pitcher is all right. Stays in the game. Almost had a daily injury. Bottom of 6 coming up. Twins lead it 7-2. So now it's going to be Humphrey, followed by Miller and Gritch. Thermosgar of the windup, pitch to Humphrey. Struck him out, 1 away. Here's Rick Miller, 0 for 2. Thermosgar of the windup, pitch to Miller, and that's a strikeout, 2 away. Here's Gritch. Thermosgar of the windup, pitch to Gritch, and that's a ground ball to third. Gets him. We played 6, 7-2 Twins. Waniger, followed by Ford and Powell. Miller with the windup, pitch to him, and that's going to be a fly ball right field. Miller with the catch, 1 away, and now it's Miller to Dan Ford. Miller with the windup, pitch to Ford, and that's a strikeout, 2 outs for Huskin Powell, 2 for 3 at the double. Miller with the windup, pitch to Powell, and that's a ground ball to second. So Dyer Miller gets the job done. Get up and stretch. Twins 7, Angels 2. Of all people, Paul Thermosgard, 14 innings of work, a .64 ERA. Surprising everyone. Thermosgard with the windup, the Bostock, and that's a ground ball to short, 1 away. Here's Rudy. Thermosgard with the windup and the pitch to Rudy, and that's a double to left field for Rudy. Same hit he had before off the top of the wall. He's on at second with 1 man out. Here's Baylor. Thermosgard from the stretch and the pitch to Baylor, who's 0 for 2, and he flies out, and he'll continue to play. Again, he'll stay in with the injuries. 2 outs. Here's Thermosgard from the stretch. 2 for 2 for the older gentleman Fairley. Catch X behind the plate. He is a 3-5 pass ball or pal out, and he goes to throw. He makes the play. Good job by Waniger. We played 7-2 Minnesota. So Norwood followed by Randall and Cubbage. Miller stays out there with the windup. Pitch to Norwood, who's 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. And that's a fly ball center field. Bostock with the catch, 1 away. Here's Randall, 1 for 3 at the double. Miller with the windup. Pitch to Randall. And that's going to be a base hit, a double for Bob Randall. So Randall's on it. This Twin team has hit most of the year. Miller for the stretch to Cubbage. Cubbage 3 for 4. Now 22 at bats, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, hitting 636. Miller from the stretch to Cubbage. And he's done it again. A base hit for Cubbage. He has 4 hits again. Wow, this guy has been Mr. Strat so far. Runner on first, 1 out. Twins now lead 8-2. Smalley hits with Miller now. Miller from the stretch. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Again, making all these mistakes. A base hit goes through. Smalley goes to third. So it's Cubbage at third. Smalley on at first. First and third. 1 out for Carew, who's 3 for 4. Miller from the stretch and the pitch. That's a walk. Bases loaded, 1 out for Glenn Adams. Holy smokes. So lefty switch, righty to batter. Miller from the stretch trying to take one on the chin here. And he does. Drive to center field and over the wall. 2 runs will score. Cubbage scores. Here comes Smalley. They will hold Carew at third. He could have scored. It's 10-2 Minnesota. Wow. Wanniger to hit. Miller stays in, pitches from the stretch. And that's a walk, and the bases are loaded for 4. That is all. Can't sit and watch that all the time. It'll be Tom Griffin, first appearance of the year. This is where you have to use these guys. He comes in, pitches to Ford, bases loaded, 1 out. Ground ball to short. Again, this is what's killing him. Mullenix gets it. Oh, he missed another error. Mullenix with yet another error. Third error for the Twins. It's 11-2 Minnesota. Here's Huskin Powell. 3 errors for the Halos. Griffin from the stretch. And that's a walk, and let the merry-go-round put another quarter in. It's 12-2 Minnesota. Here's Willie Norwood. 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. Griffin from the stretch. And he done it again. Base hit. Wanniger scored. Here comes the second run. Ford will score. Twins lead 14-2. They add the extra point. Vikings 14 and the Rams 2. A 7-run 8th inning for the Twins. First and third, 1 out for Bob Randall. 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. Griffin from the stretch. And that's going to be a fly ball left field. Another problem. Rudy makes the catch. And the run should score. Powell will score from third. It's 15-2. And they get the 2-point conversion. Here's Mike Cubbage once again. 4 for 5 and 4 RBIs. Griffin from the stretch. Pitch to Cubbage. And he walks him. He's on base yet again. First and second, 2 outs for Smalley. Griffin from the stretch. And the pitch to Smalley. And that's a fly ball center field. And finally, this inning is over. The Vikings get the score plus the 2-point conversion. It's 15-2 Minnesota. Holy crap. Chalk, Mullenix, Humphrey against Paul Thermosgard. I don't like the Twin bullpen at all, unless they bring in Gary Surum here, who would be the likely, or another Greg Thayer approach. Let's let maybe Thermosgard go until he gets tired. Thermosgard to Chalk, and that's going to be a walk. That could start getting him tired. Thermosgard from the windup, pitch to Mullenix, and that's a pop up the first. Carew with the play. Here's Humphrey. He's 1 for 2. Thermosgard from the stretch, and that's going to be a pop up the third. Cubbage with the play. 2 outs for Rick Miller, who's 0 for 3. Thermosgard from the stretch, pitch to Miller, and that's a ground ball. Got him, and Thermosgard had done his job. He went 5 plus 3 plus his endurance. So he's auto tired into the ninth. 15-2 Minnesota. You know what, folks? Let's go ahead and find out what he has done so far in his career. We'll have to take a peek ski at this. Let's see. I guess I don't have any other windows open, so we'll go ahead and pull up a new window. So his name is Paul Thermosgard. Twins, I guess. Let's see if we could get his information on Paul. Let's see if I can find it. Of course I can't do it. I can't spell Thermosgard. I don't think anyone who can. 1978 Twins. Let's find out that way. All right, Baseball Reference. Way you go. So let's go to Baseball Reference real quick. Find out a little information about Paul. He went 12 starts that year One complete game, so he might go for that complete game. So now here is Carew. He'll be followed by Adams and Waniger here in the ninth. Griffin with the windup pitch to Carew, 3 for 4. That's a fly ball center field, one away. Here's Glenn Adams. He's the designated hitter. He may give up a chance at a bat here, and it'll be Rich Childs. Rich Red or Green Childs will come in the batter. Left-handed hitter. He's been up 6 times. Griffin with the pitch to Childs. And that's going to be a base hit for Childs. He joins the party. Here's Waninger. He's 0 for 4. They might as well bring in Glenn Bergman here. Oh, God, they got Ken Landreau on this bench. Oh, it must be his major league debut. Or he's on the Angels. My fault. I was looking at the wrong team. All right, let's go to Glenn Borgman. So Borgman will swing. That's a nice bit of a guy to have on your bench now. So the Angels will have that. Griffin from the stretch and pop up the second, 2 outs. And here's Dan Ford. He so far the ball game is over for. Welcome to spring training, I guess. And the Minnesota Twins will give some at bats up here. And right-handed, note there's no one who hits righties on this team. Doesn't make any sense. So Ford will swing. Griffin with the windup, and that's going to ground ball to short, retires aside. Borgman is your catcher. And let's see what else happened. DH stays as Childs stays in the games. 15-2, bottom of the ninth, and obviously this is the last licks for the Angels. So Grit should be followed by Bostock and Rudy. But we'll keep Thermosgard in there until he gives up a hit on the pitcher's fatigue hit. We'll see what happens. Pitch to Grich. And he doesn't. Ground ball to short. Smalley's got it. Throws him out, one away. One complete game from Thermosgard. Let's see if he can get it. Thermosgard with the windup. Here's the pitch to Bostock. And that's a base hit for Bostock. So here's Rudy. 2 for 3, 2 doubles. Thermosgard from the stretch. And that's going to be a base hit. That's another hit for Rudy. First and third. Oh, another double for Rudy. So third double the ball game for Joe. Second and third, 1 out. Twins got their bullpen ready. The hat is up. So they need him. He's ready. Thermosgard from the stretch. Second and third. Thermosgard from the stretch to pitch to Baylor. That's a ground ball back to the mound. They actually get the runner at the plate. What was he thinking? You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm changing that call. So let's go ahead and change that call. And there's no way you're down by that. That's the problem with Strat and that rule. So let's go ahead and manual enter this. We'll give him a ground ball back to the pitcher. Let's see. Rudy will stay at his base. Baylor is out. Bostock will stay at his base. And then I'll be a pitcher from 1 to 3. There. That's how you do that. And there's 2 outs. That's one rule I do not like. And that's like playing the contact rule. You're gonna play a contact rule down by 13? I don't think so. Thermosgard looks to finish against Ron Fairley. 2 for 3 in an RBI. And that's a strikeout. And Paul Thermosgard's got his complete game. So the final score is the Twins 15, the Angels 2. The Twins with 3 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th, and 8 in the 8th. 15, 18, and 1 for Minnesota, 2, 9, and 3 for the Angels. Thermosgard complete game, 9 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Ryan, 5 2/3, 11 hits, 7 runs, all earned. Dyer Miller, 5 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned. Griffith, 1 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, none earned. Doubles by Adams, Powell. Randall had 2 doubles. Rudy with 3 of them. Triples by Carew. Big hitter of the ball game, Mike Cubbage. 4 for 5, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, continues to hit. Carew, 3 for 5, 3 runs scored. So there's your final. It is Twins 15 and the Angels 2. Let's go ahead and go over what we have on Friday. It's a brand new schedule of games, I have a feeling. So the games that are on hold are the Tigers and Blue Jays. That'll be our start probably. And then the Brewers at the Orioles. So that'll be a good start. And then after that, you might see Mariners Twins. That could go to the auto. Rangers Red Sox. That is opening day in Boston. That's Doyle Alexander, Dennis Eckersley. That's definitely played. The Angels at the A's. That'll probably be the A's opener. That's Knapp and Worth, probably at least. And then you have the Indians and Royals, and that should be kind of up. That should be kind of fun. And then everyone else gets back together on Saturday, who played opening day on Thursday. The Yankees White Sox will continue on Saturday also. Folks, thank you for coming in. This has been the presentation of Sports Time Machine, taking you back to 1978 and the American League Strat-O-Matic replay. If we look at our retrospect standings, the Brewers are 4-1. The Red Sox are 4-1. The Blue Jays only a game back. The Orioles a game back. The Yankees are now 1.5 back after that collapse. Indians are 2.5 back, and the Tigers are 3 back. The A's lead the West 4-3, a scattered bunch. Twins 5-4 are tied. The Royals have only played 4 games, are 2-2. Mariners are 4-5. The Angels are 3-4. Texas is 2-3, and the White Sox are 2-4. So everyone just kind of skimming by. Thank you, folks. Again, we appreciate you. We'll see you again. Let's get to RJL's closing day. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you again, and thank you again. We'll see you for another day of action.